Night, mate.
Hey, Dad.
Yeah, mate, what is it?
Did you enjoy my play tonight?
Yeah, I did, as a matter of fact, mate. I enjoyed it very much. Mostly in a it's so bad that it's good kind of way, but yes, still I enjoyed it.
Didn't you think we were very good?
Oh, mate, to be honest with you, most of the cast were atrocious. But, I mean, you're not professional actors, are you? So, I mean, I didn't expect much more. But no, I thought it was going to be real bad, and it definitely was. I'll tell you what, though, there was one very special member of the cast who I thought was just beaut.
You mean me?
No, not you, mate. That girl who played Pinocchio. Ask me, she's got quite a career ahead of her. Oh, don't get me wrong, I mean, you put in a competent, rock-solid performance yourself, but, I mean, let's face it, I mean, you probably don't have it, The X Factor. The thing that makes women want you and men want to be you.
So I shouldn't do musicals anymore.
Oh, don't be silly, mate. Of course you should. You've got to have dreams. Otherwise, you're just as bad as that no-hoper kid tonight who played Jiminy Cricket.
That was me.
Really? I thought you played Geppetto.
No.
Oh, well, in that case, mate, I stand corrected. That makeup department, they did a top job too.
Promise, Dad.
Would I lie to you, mate? OK, mate. Time for sleep.
Dad,
Yes, mate.
why did Skampy have to die?
Ah, well, when a dog gets run over, mate, all its organs get so squished down into the road.
Dad, you told me last night. But why did Skampy have to die?
Oh, Billy. We all die, mate. I mean, you could die tomorrow. Electrical accident, drown in the bath, slip, fall, crack your head on the pavement, leukemia. We all die, mate.
Tomorrow?
May not even be that long. Mum may have left the gas on right now by accident, and during the night we could all be asphyxiated, gently pass over into the land of death. Still, let's hope she remembered to turn it off, eh?
Yes, Dad.
I tell you what, if you are still alive in the morning, how about we go down to the park and kick the footy?
Okay.
Yeah, you could even bring Skampy. It would just be us two.
Good night, Dad.
Good night, mate. Oh, good night, mate. Sleep tight.
Dad,
Yes, mate.
are you sleeping on the couch again tonight?
Yes, mate, I like the couch. It's nice and comfy.
Dad,
Yes.
are you and Mummy getting a divorce?
No, mate, no. Well, we're going to stay together in a sham marriage and pretend that everything's A-OK. Well, at least for the next 10 years.
Why?
Well, because of you, mate. See, a lot of mummies and daddies stay together so little kids like you can sort of live out your childhood in a fantasy where nothing bad happens and everyone loves each other forever and ever. But if you didn't exist, well, that'd be different. We'd get divorced like that. We'd be out every night, partying, meeting people, having sex, looking for a life filled with joy. But you do exist, mate, so don't worry, we're not getting divorced.
Honest, Dad?
Would I lie to you? Good night, mate.
Good night.
Oh, good night, Billy. Sleep tight.
Dad,
Yes, mate.
why did Uncle Fred kick Cousin Toby out of home?
Oh, that's because your Uncle Fred found out that Toby is a homosexual.
What's a homosexual?
Well, in this case, it's where a boy likes other boys.
I like other boys.
Not like that you don't, mate. But anyway, your Uncle Fred doesn't like homosexuals and that's why he kicked Toby out.
But why?
Oh, well, it's kind of complicated, mate. You know how your mum always gets you to wash your hands after you've been to the toilet? Well, homosexuals do things down in that region that some people, like your Uncle Fred, think that no amount of soap and water can clean up. I guess that's why they can't legally get married or adopt children. But if Toby had have suppressed all his urges for boys deep down inside and never told a soul about it, he could have had all that, and he'd probably still be living at home.
But what if I only ever liked boys? Would you kick me out?
Oh, Billy, don't be ridiculous. It'll never come to that. At least I don't think it will.
Honest, Dad?
Would I lie to you, mate?
Good night, Dad.
Good night, Billy. Oh, good night, Billy. Sleep tight.
Dad,
Yes, mate.
am I adopted?
Oh, Billy, why would you ask something like that? And what's wrong with being adopted anyway? Little Ben from across the road, he's adopted and, well, apart from the bedwetting thing, he's turned out all right.
Yeah, but what about me?
Oh, you silly duffer. Of course you're not adopted. Still, just because you're not adopted doesn't mean we're your natural parents. See, there've been thousands of cases of mix-ups in the hospital over the years where identity tags get mixed up and babies go home with the wrong families. Sometimes they don't find out for years, if ever. Mind you, I doubt that happened. Although, even if there wasn't a maternity ward mix-up, I can't say 100% that you're my son. It's a bit embarrassing, but your mum and I used to do a bit of experimenting with other people back in those days, and yes, we took precautions, but really it's only a DNA test that can conclusively say that it was my sperm that did the deed. Best to live in ignorance, I say. No, I'm 99% sure that you're my son.
Honest, Dad.
Would I lie to you? Good night, mate. Oh, by the way, little Ben across the road, he doesn't know he's adopted, so if it comes up in conversation, just break it to him gently.
Good night, Dad.
Maybe we should just avoid this whole dad-son thing, at least until we know for sure. So, good night, mate. Okay, mate. Sleep tight.
Dad,
Yes, mate.
do I have to go to the dentist tomorrow?
Yeah, mate, you do. But don't worry, they make sure it doesn't hurt.
How?
Well, they get this big needle, like big, like about this big, and they stick it all the way deep down into your gums, like, here, give me Teddy, I'll show you what they do. No, it hurts. Come on, Teddy, be brave. All the way in, like that. And pretty soon, Teddy, or tomorrow morning, you don't feel a thing. You just sit there, unable to move, frozen in the chair while the dentist does stuff to you with a drill. Like this. No, I don't want it. Come on, Teddy, open nice and wide. See?
Okay.
All right. Now, good night, mate.
Good night, Dad.
Oh, good night, mate.
Dad,
Yes, mate.
why doesn't Sally have a dad?
Oh, Sally does have a dad, mate. I mean, we all have a dad. It's just that Sally's mum doesn't know who Sally's dad is.
Why?
Well, about 10 years ago, mate, Sally's mum was a single girl without a care in the world. She was a young 18-year-old woman with a lovely figure, and she used to have a party every night. At the end of each night, she'd have a different boyfriend stay over. Even I got to stay once. Anyway, one night, a young man stayed over, and Sally's mum got pregnant. And 9 months later, Sally was born.
Why can't they find Sally's dad?
Oh, come on, mate. Sally's dad probably doesn't even know that he is Sally's dad. Besides, he's probably with another lady now and he's moved on with his own family.
Why can't you be Sally's dad?
Because I'm your dad, mate. No, I'm pretty sure that you're the only kid that I'm a dad to.
Honest, Dad.
Would I lie to you, mate? Unless, of course, Sally's mum asked for a paternity test. But we could talk about that tomorrow.
Good night, Dad.
Good night. Okay, mate. Time for sleep.
Dad, don't turn the lights out tonight. I'm afraid of monsters.
Oh, Billy, there are no monsters.
Really?
No. There are bad men who do bad things. Very bad things. Like kidnap people and torture them and murder people and stab them. And yeah, they are monsters in a way, but they don't look like what you think a monster looks like. Like some big green scaly thing or something. They just look like normal people that you might meet every day. Could be anyone.
Can you make a light on, Dad?
Billy, no monster is going to jimmy the window open and come and get you now. Not while the lights are still on downstairs. They wouldn't risk it. It's after your mum and I go to bed and the house is all dark. That's when they're more likely to come for you. over smart. And they usually are.
Good night, Dad.
Good night, mate.
Good night, Dad.
What's up, Billy? You've been quiet all day. Is there something wrong at school?
I'm not very good at maths.
Oh, is that all? Oh, I wouldn't worry about that.
Really?
No, it just means that you're dumber than the other kids, that's all. That's all right. Your mum and I have known about it for years. Oh, sure, we were disappointed at first, but we decided we'd love you anyway. We're just not proud of you.
You're not?
Oh, come on, mate, how can we be? We've got to lie to Nan and Pop all the time about your report card. Plus, you'll never get a decent job, which means you'll always be borrowing money off us. We think of you sort of like an old dog that we have to keep buying food for, even when it's old and not cute anymore. But of course, unlike a dog, we could never put you down.
Honest, Dad?
Would I lie to you, mate? Now come on, get some sleep. It's a school day tomorrow. And believe me, your little brain needs all the rest it can get. Good night, mate. Oh. Night, mate.
Night, Dad. Hey, Dad,
Yes, mate.
is there really a Santa Claus?
Of course there is, mate.
Really?
Yeah, in fact there's thousands of them.
Thousands?
Yeah, they're usually old blokes or unemployed actors who get paid $15 an hour to whack on a suit and a fake beard and jiggle hot whinging kids on their laps. Personally, you couldn't pay me enough. Hard enough trying to deal with your own kids most of the time.
Does that mean Santa doesn't live at the North Pole?
Nope. In fact, the one that you got your photo taken with last year lives in the Housing Commission near the police station. The one with the chicken wire on the windows.
If Santa lives at the Housing Commission, will I still get presents?
Of course you will, mate. And do you know why? Because Santa doesn't bring the presents, mate. Mummy and Daddy do. Tell you the truth, I was getting kind of tired of watching you open your presents every year and going, "Thanks, Santa," when it was actually my hard-earned money that paid for them.
Honest, Dad?
Would I lie to you, mate? Good night. Oh, good night, Billy. Sleep tight.
Dad?
Yes, mate.
Why did the teachers call Milton Harris special?
Is he the one in the wheelchair? Yeah, I don't know about special, mate. If they mean that he's not like normal people who say he'll never be able to hold down a job or get married, have children, live a useful, productive life, then, oh yeah, I suppose you could call him special. A more accurate description might be retarded or marginalised. And that's due to him having a couple of extra special chromosomes.
Is that why he always looks happy?
Oh no, that's probably because of all the drugs they've got in him. To stop him becoming violent or having a seizure and swallowing his own tongue. But they do make him happy all the time.
Really?
Yeah, I guess it's one of the benefits of being special. He'll never have to work a day in his life. Someone will always cook and clean for him. He won't have to do a thing in return.
Honest, Dad?
Would I lie to you?
Dad,
Yes, mate.
when did you and Mummy know you were in love?
In love? Gee, I don't know if not wearing a condom and having to get married means you're in love, mate. That's a pretty big presumption, isn't it? I mean, I was in love with lots of girls before I met your mummy. Those were the days. Sometimes I didn't even know their names. Memories. But then I met your mummy. And one night, when I was loving her, she assured me that she was taking care of the contraception. But she wasn't telling me the truth. She was telling me a fib. We don't like fibbers, do we, mate?
Well, no, Dad. But you love Mummy now, don't you?
Well, let's just say we've got an understanding. Put it that way, mate.
Good night, Dad.
Good night, mate. Good night, mate.
Good night, Dad. Hey, Dad,
Yes, mate.
can I have a pair of Nikes?
Oh, brand name runners are expensive, mate. Especially when you consider the sweatshops they're made in.
What's a sweatshop, Dad?
Sweatshop? Sweatshop's where a big company like Nike build a factory in a poor country so they can produce their products on the cheap. In fact, a lot of the people who work in these factories are kids, just like you. Maybe a bit younger. But my point is, mate, what does a hungry kid running around a factory floor in bare feet know about producing quality footwear?
Why are they in bare feet?
Well, they don't get paid much, mate. You see, Nike need that money so they can pay all the elite athletes and the sports heroes who endorse their footwear on television. I guess working fast just ain't as cool as running fast, mate.
So I can't get a pair of Nikes.
Oh, of course you can, mate. No son of mine's going to go without. No, we'll just do it.
Honest, Dad?
Would I lie to you, mate? Good night, mate.
Dad?
Yes, mate.
Why isn't Mummy having a baby anymore?
Well, that's because Mummy had a procedure and that made the baby go away.
Why?
Well, because your mum's over 40, she had a test to see if your potential brother or sister would be okay. But unfortunately, it wasn't. So, unlike with you, we've decided it best not to have it.
Is that why Mummy's been crying?
Yeah, it is, mate. You see, that was your mum's last chance to have another baby.
Does that mean I'll never have a brother or sister?
Yeah, probably not now, mate. No. Or not unless I make a baby with another younger woman. So, mate, never say never. Anyway, look on the bright side, Billy. You'll be an only child. And only children are always spoilt rotten.
Honest, Dad?
Would I lie to you?
Dad?
Yes, mate.
What happens if people start calling me names at school?
Do they call you names, mate? Like Fatso?
No.
Girly?
No.
Smelly duds?
No.
Spazzy?
No.
Big eye?
Big eye?
Well, one eye is a little bit bigger than the other. I'm sure the other kids notice that, mate. Retard?
No.
Wee breath?
Good night, Dad.
Good night, big eye.
What?
Good night, mate. Oh, night, mate.
Dad?
Yes, mate, what is it?
Where's Cameron's dad gone?
Ah, Cameron's dad has had to go to jail for a little while, mate.
Why?
Well, remember how Cameron's mum had those bruises on her face?
Mum said she walked into the door.
Yeah, right. Well, she walked into the door about 18 times the other night, mate. So they had to take Cameron's dad to jail to teach him a lesson.
What happens when you're in jail?
Well, first thing they'll do to Cameron's dad is they'll throw him into a cell with a criminal who's been in jail for a very long time. And Cameron's dad will have to do things for him.
What kind of things?
Oh, like his washing and make the bed. You remember that time you walked in on Mummy and me and Mummy couldn't talk? Yeah, right. Well, Cameron's dad will have to do that too. And sometimes he'll have to do that for some other men. Like when he's in the shower block or after lights out and a few other men feel like a bit of a cuddle.
Honest, Dad?
Would I lie to you, mate? Now come on, lights out. There you go, mate. Night, night.
Night.
Hey, everything all right?
Yeah, I just feel a bit sad.
Oh, that's no good, mate. What do you feel sad about?
I don't know.
Well, I'm sure it's nothing. Probably just tired, that's all. And then again, could be that terrible depression that runs in the family.
What's that, Dad?
Depression? Oh, it's kind of like a disease, mate, where you feel sad for no reason.
Do you have depression?
Nope, don't have to worry about that. Only runs on your mother's side. Oh, but I'm sure you don't have it. No, I'm sure you've got lots of perfectly logical reasons to feel sad.
Like what?
Well, let's see. Maybe you're sad because you're not that good at school.
No.
Really? Oh, that would have been my first guess. Or maybe you're sad because you don't play sport that well.
You don't think I'm good at sport?
Are you sad because Mummy and Daddy argue a lot and maybe you think it's your fault? Which it isn't. Well, not all the time, anyway.
No.
Oh, geez, mate, I don't know what it is then.
Maybe I'm just sad because I ran out of my stripy toothpaste and I had to use your grown-up toothpaste that doesn't taste as nice.
Oh, mate, is that all it is? Well, then you're not depressed.
Really?
No, it just means you're a bit of a weirdo, that's all.
Honest, Dad?
Would I lie to you, mate? Now, come on, get some sleep. There you go, mate. Night, night.
Hey, Dad?
Yes, mate.
Aren't you going to say goodnight to Timmy?
Who's Timmy, mate?
He's my secret friend.
Now, look, mate, what have I told you about that?
That Timmy isn't real?
That's right. Now, I don't want to come down too hard on you, but you're 9 years old, and that's getting a bit too big to have a secret friend. What if other people found out? They might start to think you're a bit weird. So I don't want to hear any more talk about having a secret friend, okay?
Okay, Dad, but...
But what, mate?
But you have a secret friend.
No, mate, I only have real friends. And the sooner you go to sleep like a good boy, the sooner I can pop down the pub to see them.
Now, remember when I came home early and I saw you with that lady? You told me that she was your secret friend.
Did I?
You told me that she wasn't real.
Yes, I did. And you know what, mate? Forget everything I just said. There's nothing wrong with having a secret friend. In fact, you can have all the secret imaginary friends that you want.
Honest, Dad?
Would I lie to you, mate? So long as you remember that the best thing about having a secret friend is that they stay secret. Now, night, night. Oh, and night to Timmy, too. There you go, mate.
Hey, Dad, what was wrong with Aunty Vira today? She was all shaky and she couldn't talk properly.
I'm afraid your Aunty Vira's not too well, mate. She has ALS, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. But you're a bit too young to understand.
Okay.
It's just this terrible degenerative disease which attacks the nerve cells. Eventually she'll become paralysed and she won't be able to move or eat or drink or sleep, and she'll slowly waste away. Yeah, I'm afraid your Aunty Vira is going to die a long, painful, undignified death.
You couldn't get ALS, could you, Dad?
Oh, of course not, mate. No, once someone has it, it tends to skip a generation. Mind you, you're in the firing line, though. Oh, but don't worry, mate. Given your auntie has it, you've probably got like a 1 in 10 chance that you'll have it too. Which, interestingly enough, is about the same odds as you walking out the door tomorrow and whack, being flattened by a bus.
I'm not going to get hit by a bus, am I, Dad?
Oh, absolutely not, mate. No, buses are the last thing you need to worry about. Especially with that ALS thing hanging over your head.
Honest, Dad?
Would I lie to you, mate? Now, come on, get some sleep. Because God knows, poor Aunty Vira won't. Night, mate.
Hey, Dad, can I please have a story?
Well, you're a bit old for that, aren't you, mate? Shouldn't you be reading to yourself now?
I do. I just thought it might be fun. So can we?
Well, I would, mate, except it's kind of late. And I was
Please.
All right. Well, once there was this little boy and he wouldn't go to sleep.
What was his name?
Nerdy. All right, his name was Nerdy. And every night he'd ask his dad these questions. Question after silly question, while his dad's beer got warmer and warmer downstairs. Then suddenly, his dad realised, well, he may as well keep telling the story because he'd missed his window with the evil ogre downstairs, who by now had probably passed out on the couch after a 5th goblet of wine, leaving the dad to sort himself out. Again. Anyway, that's probably enough for now, mate. You're looking a bit tired.
But how did the story end?
Well, one day the little boy grows up and the dad realises he doesn't have to put up with the evil ogre downstairs anymore. Now, you go to sleep and tomorrow night we'll have another story.
Honest, Dad?
Believe me, mate, I got nothing better to do. There you go, mate.
Hey, Dad, are you coming to my parent-teacher night tomorrow?
Oh, sure am, mate. I wouldn't miss it for the world.
Thanks, Dad.
I could hardly pass up spending some time with that teacher of yours, Miss Kirby, now, could I? To be honest with you, mate, I don't know how you boys get any work done at all.
You're not in love with Miss Kirby, are you, Dad?
Oh, of course not, mate. No, it's just lust. Physical thing. Oh, but don't worry. I won't go doing anything stupid like cheating on your mum. I have never done that.
That's good.
I've come close, though. Now, look, a couple of years ago at work, there was this woman, Angela. Whew. She was a fox. And I could tell she wanted me. You know, twirling the hair around the fingers, sucking on the end of a pencil, all the classic body language signals. Anyway, one night I almost gave in. And just as I was about to make my move, Bernard, the Asian cleaner, comes in, starts vacuuming. Well, that was the end of that. And that's why I always gave Bernard a bottle of Spumante every Christmas, right up until he was deported.
You'd never stop being married to Mummy, would you, Dad?
Oh, absolutely not, mate. Absolutely not. Especially when you consider the way the housing market is at the moment. No, if we had to sell this place now in a divorce settlement, I'd lose a fortune. Yep. Until real estate prices pick up again, I am committed to your mum 100%. And according to the analysts, that's at least another 18 months away.
Honest, Dad?
Would I lie to you, mate? Now come on, get some sleep. Oh, there you go, Billy.
Dad?
Yes, mate.
Can Johnny come over for a sleepover next week?
Of course he can, mate. Sounds like a great idea. Of course, we just have to pick a night when me and your mum haven't ducked out to the pub while you're asleep. But I'm sure one of us will be able to stick around for a while. Have you asked Johnny, mate?
Yeah.
And?
He said maybe next week.
Sounds like a plan, then. Then again, might just be a delaying tactic.
What's that, Dad?
Well, that's when people say something when they don't really want to do it. Like when I say to your mum, "Hey, how about a kiss?" And she says, "Maybe later." Or when I ask the boss for a raise and he says, "You gotta be kidding me." Oh, but not Johnny, mate. I'm sure he'd love to come for a sleepover.
Honest, Dad?
Would I lie to you, mate?
Hey, Dad, can I have a story?
Maybe tomorrow night. Good night, mate. Oh, there you go, mate.
Dad?
Yes, mate.
You know my teacher, Mrs. Jenkins?
Sure do, mate.
I reckon she's the best teacher in the whole world.
Oh, that's nice, mate. I mean, it's obviously wrong, but it's nice.
What do you mean, Dad?
Well, Miss Jenkins works in the state school system, mate. The cream of the crop are snapped up by the rich private schools like that. Oh, I'm sure there are some good teachers in the state system, but they're mostly your older ones. The ones who went through college back when people actually wanted to be teachers. Miss Jenkins is what, 24, 25 maybe? So she's probably not much chop, to be honest with you, mate.
But she knows the answer to everything.
Well, that's because they're all written down in her teacher's manual. Look, I'm sure Miss Jenkins is the smartest teacher at your school.
Really?
Well, I've met your PE and your art teachers, mate, and they're a couple of shockers, so sure. But if you want a really smart teacher, you'll have to wait till you get to university.
Okay, Dad.
Mind you, by the time you're ready to go to uni, we probably won't be able to afford it. Anyway, we can talk about that tomorrow night.
Honest, Dad?
Would I lie to you, mate? Good night. There you go, mate.
Hey, Dad?
Yes, mate.
Are you going back to work tomorrow now that your holidays are over?
To be honest with you, mate, I haven't really been on holidays. It's just something your mother told you so you wouldn't get worried. I've actually been retrenched.
What's that, Dad?
Oh, basically it's a polite way of saying my boss gave me the sack.
But what did you do wrong?
Well, you know how where I work's got that factory that caught fire and those 4 blokes got killed?
Yeah?
That was me.
Why did you do that, Dad?
Well, I didn't do it deliberately, mate. I'm not a murderer. And if the inquiry pans out all right, I'm not a manslaughterer either. It was just a simple case of managerial negligence. Although the lawyers have told me to stop using that word.
Will you be able to get another job, Dad?
Well, that's the $64,000 question, isn't it, mate? I mean, there's plenty of keen young beans fresh out of university with better qualifications and unblemished employee mortality records just itching to work. So it might just be the scrap heap for your old man.
We'll still be able to buy things, won't we, Dad?
Of course we will, mate. I mean, we might have to cut back on a few luxuries like holidays, eating out. heating in the winter, second car, first car, meat, little stuff.
Maybe I could get a job.
Oh, bless you, mate. But let's face it, you're not really going to be able to bring in $2,000 a week on a paper run, are you?
No.
No. So it was a bit of a silly suggestion, wasn't it? Now, come on, you get some sleep, because there's plenty of time to worry about our bleak economic future in the morning.
Honest, Dad.
Would I lie to you, mate? Actually, you don't need that on, do you? There you go, mate.
Hey, Dad.
Yeah, mate.
Do I really have to go to bed now? Can't I stay up a bit?
Oh, I don't know about that.
But I'm not even tired.
Well, you might not be tired now, mate, but if you stay up late...
Please.
Oh, I know how you feel, mate. You're young, you want to pack in every second of life. But believe me, as you get older, you'll start to yearn for the sweet release of a few hours sleep. So you can get away from the reality of your life, or what passes for it. Some nights I'll just lie there, staring at the ceiling, thinking, where did I go wrong? I'm married to a woman who doesn't love me anymore. A kid who'll be around for at least another 10 years. The three if we send him to boarding school in Tamworth and then enrol him in Duntrean. Sometimes I wonder what would happen if I said I was going out to get milk. I got in the car, drove off, and never came back.
You'd never do that to Mummy and me, would you, Dad?
Oh, of course not, mate.
Honest, Dad.
Would I lie to you? Besides, your mother hides the car keys. Now, come on, get some sleep. You lucky bastard. There you go, mate. Hey, everything all right?
Yeah, I just don't feel too well.
Oh, well, we better have a look at you then. Yeah. It's probably just a bit of a sniffle, mate. I wouldn't worry about it too much.
Okay, Dad.
Unless, of course, it's that Asian bird flu.
What's that, Dad?
Oh, it's nothing, mate. It's just this pandemic that's sweeping our part of the world. That they reckon could kill off half the global population. But I'm pretty sure it's not that.
Asian bird flu isn't in Australia, is it, Dad?
Oh, of course not, mate. At least that's what our government's telling us. But then that's what they would tell us, isn't it? Anyway, if there is bird flu in Australia, mate, you're a healthy young lad. You'd be right. Of course, the fact that we're keeping those chickens in the backyard isn't improving your odds, but there you go. Anyway, you go to sleep now, and if you're still feeling a bit crook tomorrow, Dad will bring you a nice big bowl of Mum's homemade soup to warm you up.
Honest, Dad?
Would I lie to you, mate? Better just check that it hasn't come from any of those chickens. Good night, mate. Oh, good night, mate.
Dad?
Yes, mate.
How old's God?
Oh, that's a bit of a toughie, mate. Depends which God you're talking about. Jesus is pretty old. The Christians made him up about 2,000 years ago. The God that Jewish people believe in, he's about 5,300 years old. How he was supposed to have fathered Jesus at 3,300 is a mystery to me, mate, but who cares when you're making this stuff up, I guess. The Scientologist God is about 40 years old. Mind you, he was made up by some sci-fi writer. And I don't care how dumb you are, mate. You'd reckon a few alarm bells would start ringing.
Are you saying God's not real?
I'm just saying that people want to believe that there's some sort of meaning or purpose to life. But you and me know better, don't we, mate? Yep. Life is just one big void. Full of emptiness, then you die, that's it.
Okay, Dad.
Hey, just because there is no God doesn't mean we can't pretend once a year so we score some choice Christmas presents.
Honest, Dad?
Would I lie to you, mate? Now come on, off to sleep. And dream about the great stuff you're going to get me this year. Good night.
Dad?
Yes, mate.
You know the school fancy dress party next week? Well, I want to go as Peter Pan.
Not a good idea, mate. Well, the tights, combined with you being a bit, effeminate, could lead to some of the nastier boys putting two and two together.
What do you mean?
Well, look, you know how Tinkerbell is like a little fairy? And if you dress up as Peter Pan, people might think you're a little fairy too. Hey, I know. Why don't you go as Ian Chappell?
Who?
He was a cricketer, mate. He's a very masculine person that we all respect. Half the time he used to play drunk out of his mind. Now that's a real man.
Maybe I'll go as Brett Lee.
No, he uses hair product, mate. And I don't believe his hair is naturally that colour anyway. He says he's metrosexual, but I think he's a bit of a Peter Pan, if you get my drift.
What about Willy Wonka?
Not a good idea, mate. Just invites easy comments like, hey, look, he's Willy's wonky. Or they might make jokes about your nervous accident last year at the sports day when you were a one-man chocolate factory with a big Oompa Loompa fudge bar in your dax.
I don't think they'll do that, Dad.
No, they wouldn't. They're probably not as clever as me, but I think they'd probably come up with something, mate. Go on, pick another costume.
What about a pirate?
So Ian Chappell it is. Good choice, mate. Good choice. No, I think you will be the hit of the party.
Honest, Dad?
Would I lie to you, mate? Now, come on. Get some sleep.
Dad?
Yeah, mate.
Some kids at school were talking about drugs. That's bad, isn't it?
Stay away from drugs, mate. They'll ruin your life.
Really?
Well, if you don't know how to handle them, they will. I mean, dope's okay every now and again, but the wacky tobacco seem to do wonders for the Beatles.
What's wacky tobacco?
Pot, cannabis. You know, you've seen it in the back of my shed.
You said that was magic lettuce.
Well, yeah, it sort of is. Promise me this, though, that you'll stay away from the hard stuff.
What hard stuff?
Heroin, hammer, horse, H. Get onto that gear, mate, and before you know it, you'll be taking our video down to the hock shop. Standing on street corners, selling your ass to crackhead merchant bankers.
But if it's so bad, why do people take it, Dad?
Oh, well, it feels so goddamn good, mate. I mean, when that junk flows through your bloodstream and then hits your brain, it's like this explosion of pure bliss where everything is wonderful. It sends you into this dreamland where no one can hurt you. Oh, it's like 10 Christmases and 100 birthdays all rolled into one. Don't do it.
Have you ever done anything like that, Dad?
I have never used a needle in my life, mate. I never have and I never will.
Good.
Mind you, I've chased the dragon a few times in my stupid days.
What's chasing the dragon?
Oh, well, basically you get a cap of heroin and you spread it over some tin foil and then you heat it up from underneath with a cigarette lighter and suck up the smoke with a straw. I'm told it's not as good a rush as mainlining, but hey, still pretty awesome. And wrong.
I don't think I really want to do drugs, Dad.
Good. And if anyone does ever offer you drugs, just say no. I always do. Mostly.
Honest, Dad?
Would I lie to you, mate?
Dad?
Yep.
How do you make a girl like you?
Like me? Oh, that was easy, mate. I used to beat 'em off with a stick.
No, like me.
Oh, I see your problem. Why, is there someone at school you got your eye on, mate?
I was wanting to ask Lucy McIntosh if she would come to the movies with me.
Oh, it's great to have a girlfriend. You're so happy. Life's wonderful. And then she becomes more than just a girlfriend and she's your partner and you're in a relationship. And then before you know it, you're married, you've got a couple of kids, a mortgage, the whole full-blown catastrophe. But don't worry, mate. They do it gradually, step by step, so you don't even notice it.
But how could you not notice, Dad?
Well, there's a famous science experiment, mate, where if you get a frog and put him into a pot of hot water, he'll jump straight out. But if you put a frog into a pot of cold water, then you turn up the heat gradually until it boils, you know what? That frog won't even ever move.
Wow.
That's what Lucy's going to do to you, mate. Oh, but don't you worry about it. You won't even be aware that it's happening.
What would you do if you weren't married, Dad?
Oh, mate, it's sail a yacht around the Greek islands with a couple of spunky nymphettes as crew. We'd start off in Mykonos, go all the way around to Capri. Not that I've given this a lot of thought, mate, but it'd be a wooden boat.
I'd miss you, Dad.
Oh, don't worry about that, mate. I'm not going anywhere. That's just one of those little fantasies you have when you realise your whole life's come to a complete standstill. Hey, good luck with that Lucy girl, mate. if you play your cards right, you could have what I have.
Honest, Dad?
Would I lie to you, mate? And good night.
Dad, is the world going to be destroyed by global warming?
Who told you that, mate?
The teacher.
I don't know why they insist on filling your heads with this alarmist nonsense, scaring the living daylights out of you.
So global warming isn't going to destroy the world?
Oh, yeah, of course it is, mate. But, I mean, that's going to take decades. There's a much, much bigger chance that terrorists will trigger a nuclear holocaust and destroy the world well before then.
So should I tell my teacher not to worry about the environment being hurt?
Oh, no, mate. She should worry about that because of the great bloody asteroid on a collision course for Earth. Millions of them, mate. And not just asteroids, comets too.
When?
Could be any time. Today, next week, next month. It's like one giant game of cosmic Russian roulette.
What happens if it hits?
If we're lucky, we'll be hit by a big one, like the one that wiped out the dinosaurs. Bam! It'll all be over before we even know about it.
What if we're unlucky?
Well, then we'll be hit by one the size of a football field, which will kill half the population with a huge tsunami and then chuck billions of tons of dirt back into the atmosphere, plunging the globe into a sunless winter that'll go on for decades and decades, forcing us to become cannibals in order to survive. But don't worry, mate. When it comes to that, I promise I'll eat you last.
Honest, Dad?
Would I lie to you? Oh, what was that? Nothing. I thought it was a huge rock hurtling through the atmosphere. Probably just a virus. Good night. Oh.
Dad, can you help me with my maths study on the weekend?
Sure, mate.
Thanks.
Mind you, sometimes I feel it is a bit of a waste of my time.
How come?
Well, remember how much work we put into your geography exam a couple of months ago?
Yeah?
And you only got 55% for that, right?
Yeah?
And then we spent about 3 weeks getting you ready for your spelling, and you only got 50% for that one.
I know.
Well, it's a bit depressing, mate, putting in all that effort for so little return.
I tried my best.
Oh, I know, mate, I know. And I'm not knocking your work ethic. I mean, you're a real trooper. I just don't think you got it up here, that's all. Look, take your sister, for instance. She coasts along, doing not much, mucking up in class, whatever. And then exam time, bam, she blitzes everything. 95% for maths, 90% for English. Now, she's your regular brainiac. Whereas you're a struggler.
I'm sorry.
Oh, don't be sorry, mate. You don't have to be ashamed of the fact that you're just an average thinker.
I wish I was smart.
But why, mate? There's plenty of things you could do with your mediocre talents. I mean, you could work in a hot bread shop or sell shoes or, I don't know, one of thousands of menial clerical positions. The limited future is yours, mate. Embrace it.
Thanks, Dad.
Just don't go getting your hopes up for some sort of fulfilling career where you think you'll be able to make a difference or a contribution to the world. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, Dad.
In some ways, mate, I envy you. When I think of my own crappy job and this lousy home, it makes me sick to think of the potential that I've wasted. But if you get to my age and you've got even half of what I've got, for you that'd be like winning a gold medal at the Olympics.
Thanks, Dad.
The Special Olympics, but it'd still be a medal.
Honest, Dad.
Would I lie to you, mate? You can get some sleep. There you go, mate.
Dad,
Yes, son.
can we get a PlayStation 3?
Ooh, a big gift like that is usually for Christmas or birthdays, or if you achieve something. So really, it's just for Christmas or birthdays.
Right.
I tell you what, if you ever score a century at cricket, you can get a PlayStation. And Mum can move in with Johnny Depp.
The PlayStation 3 is really, really good.
Oh, I know, mate. You know Terry next door? His kids have got one. After you go to bed, I often go over there and Terry and I have a few beers and we play all night. It's great. I reached level 7 on Death Combat 4 last week.
But, Dad, if we got a PlayStation 3, we could play together.
Yeah, no, I'm well ahead of you now, mate. It'd be a slaughterhouse. And I'm not going to waste my time playing baby games like Mario Brothers or Sonic Hedgehog. I'm an advanced player now, mate.
Oh.
Now, you go to sleep, mate, and dream about Christmas. And maybe then Santa will bring you a PlayStation 2, just like the one that Terry and I hardly use anymore because the graphics are so crap compared to the new version.
Honest, Dad?
Would I lie to you, mate? Good night. So, last day of year 6 today.
Yeah,
The end of an era, hey?
I guess so.
You don't seem too excited about starting high school, mate.
Dad, is it true that the mean seniors flush the year 7 kids' heads down the toilet?
Yeah, yes, yeah. We used to do that. Of course, that was in the days of full flush 12-litre toilets, mate. I think water restrictions may have put an end to that.
Good.
It'd be too much effort with those new eco-friendly loos. I think it'd take 3 or 4 big guys to pick you up and dunk you into the loo. Too hard. They might do their backs. No, I think they're more likely just to push you into the trough.
Trough?
Yeah. You know, come up behind you when you're taking a leak, give you a dead leg, and then push your face first into your own urine.
Are you serious?
Yeah, then one of them might hold your nose so you open your mouth, and that's when they shove the trough lolly in.
Why would they do that?
It's tradition, mate.
It's awful.
Yeah, I guess it was kind of cruel when I think back on it. The great thing is, though, mate, if they do it to weak kids like you, later you get your chance to do it to new kids when you're a senior. See? So what goes around comes around. The karmic balance of bastardry is restored.
I don't think I want to go to high school, Dad.
Relax, mate. It's just Aussie hijinks. It's not like in America where some kid in a trench coat goes mad in the cafeteria and mows everyone down with their AK-47.
That won't happen. Will it, Dad?
Oh, of course not, mate. In fact, when you get to be a dad like me, you'll realise that high school was the best time of your life.
Honest, Dad?
Would I lie to you, mate? Mind you, teenagers do love to copy stuff from America. Anyway, mate, you get some sleep. There you go, mate.
Dad, can we get a dog?
Ooh, I don't know, mate. That's a lot of responsibility. Mind you, that's what they told us about having kids. But you just watch a lot of TV on your own and then you go to your room. And we don't have to walk you.
I'd really love a pet.
You've already got a pet, mate. It's the cactus.
That's a plant. I want a dog. I'd walk him every day.
I think we all remember a certain young man who really wanted a goldfish. And we all remember what happened to the goldfish, don't we, mate? Grandpa drowned in its bowl. No, I'm not saying it's your fault, and the coroner found it to be an accident, but do we really want to take that risk again?
Did you ever have a dog when you were a kid?
Did I have a dog? Mate, I had 3 dogs, and they all look like Lassie. Gee, we had a great time.
Can we at least get a cat?
Oh, I don't know, mate. Cats are cold, selfish, withholding. We've already got your mother.
So can we get one?
Cats are a very big commitment, mate. They live a very long time. 16, 17 years. And that's longer than you'll even be in this house. As soon as you finish high school, you'll be out the door, gone. No, I certainly will. And then it'd just be your mother and the cat. And it wouldn't really be very fair on the cat, leaving it with a bit of drunk, would it?
I really want a pet, Dad.
I tell you what, mate. If you can prove to me that you can keep that cactus alive for the next, say, 5, 10 years, then we'll look at it again.
Honest, Dad?
Would I lie to you, mate? Now, come on. Get some sleep. Well, now that you've finished your Harry Potter books, mate, I've got something else for you to read.
Planning for your retirement?
Yeah, your mum really wants me to read it, but I'm really busy. Could you do it for me, mate?
I'm 11.
I know retirement might seem a long way off now, mate, but as your mum yells at me every night, it's a lot closer than you think.
But it's like 50 years away.
Trust me, mate, time can go like that. One day you're young and you're single, the world is your oyster. You think you're going to be an astronaut or a rock star or a famous Hollywood actor. And suddenly you wake up, you're middle-aged, you got a wife and kids, mortgage, bam, your life is over. Next stop, the grave.
Dad, I've got 6 years till I even finish school.
7 if you repeat a year.
What?
Nothing, mate. The point is, it's important to plan for your future.
But I know what my future is. I'm going to grow up and be a great dad like you.
Oh, mate, that's a lovely thing to say. You're making me all teary now.
But it's true, Dad.
You know, mate, it's moments like these that almost make up for the fact that I was never rich and famous.
You're the best, Dad.
Honest, son?
Would I lie to you?
Good on you.
Good night, Dad.